If we are not growing, then we are dying. Now, I related to talk about what I talked about in the previous videos. In this most previous video, I talked about really the enlighten yourself to getting out of these self-interest ideas, or your own influences, or growing out of the bitterness. When you're not growing, you are dying. This really means in terms of why we have not challenged ourselves. If you have not proven any capabilities to basically expand yourself even within the job market. This applies to every areas of life. Now, I mean, we've probably been preached about and told about so many things of what some of the even successful people might have told you about, or if you've even heard of. Or if you've obviously think that you've never heard of it, you've probably been oblivious to not find out about it. In particularly easy reasons, I could easily show you a highlight of really telling you to click a link to go to it and see what the demonstrations and simple ideas of I've listed. I can show you simple ideas and methods about how to grow more, or how to stop being such a jackass every day. In particular reasons why we are not growing, because we've also had accustomed to the norms. Our own ways and norms is what drives us to be comfortable, too comfortable in the way that we tend to miss the most important things. And when we miss the most important things, we miss the biggest things in life that might have caught on to us, and we miss the biggest opportunities. In today's job market industry, in the marketable enterprise, we know that we can still enlighten ourselves to actually go forward and not to think that, okay, when private enterprise companies in the job market, there's so many companies that are willing to hire good people, to hire people who are willing to put in their potential ability and the work as well, right? Because really, I've learned one of the simple concepts of lessons I've learned is in the book, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. I give a shout out to him because he talks about, from the business and success mindset, why people change jobs, because there are also even headhunters out there from other companies who are willing to basically take people from their current jobs to give them a better salary, a better wager, basically, and negotiate for a better wager, because headhunters are out there. I talk in particularly in terms of the job markets. When you're not growing and you're not dying in the job market. If you think that, okay, we've gotten so comfortable in one career and having the one good cushy job, then that would tell easily that you're not growing as a person. Particularly, I fully understand why we want to be able to why some of us stick with that cushy job. For one aspect of reason, because we've gotten accustomed to our norms. It's great to have it, but also even in terms of having a backup plan. Having backup plans, okay, when you think that you're promised to have this one job, you could also be replaceable. Today's market enterprise economies in the economic industries are most jobs curtailed to actually still hire people, but have effective ways of keeping people, retaining people. Companies only falter and fold because they stopped basically retaining their own people. As another factor, the most high recognized companies today, Amazon, Walmart, IBM, most of these companies actually find ways to keep people, and they each show that, okay, there's always even room for improvement and growth. particularly go back to, all right, why you can still enable yourself to improve from a self-enlightened interest. To have the good qualities of the self-enlightened interest, you can just as well encourage yourself to even more show proactive steps by even getting into networks of platforms. Even in a way, you can find just as well as simple methods that even today's marketable enterprise organizations will help match your values you're looking for. One of the main personal values that I would want to envision is to continue in the near future, in the long run, to be able to get into philanthropy. If some of you might not have heard of what philanthropy is, you can just as well help you define it as really similar definitions of really basically giving the contributive efforts to others, making people's lives a difference, making a difference in people's lives, contributing efforts in donation of funds to charities, like in the most simplest ways of defining it, donating contributively to organizations that would impact other people's lives. We're more driven to actually be more hungry rather than staying stagnant. If we stay stagnant, then we die. Figuratively. I speak this figuratively. Now you can just as well be more comfortable where you're at. And your comfort level will just as easily lure you to rest on your laurels. Or you can get up, you can drive on, you can take the next step forward and basically charge forward. You also want to know to make sure that we have opportunities set in place. Obviously, you don't want to make the quick temptations of quitting your job the next day. Do it the smart way, and you can come out the other side.